Hello and welcome. This is again a continuation of our Fortinet series, and in this video I'm going to show you how to configure security policy. We have a local LAN, and that LAN I needed to access the internet. The reason is we have FortiManager, which will be in the LAN network, and I want it to be registered via the portal so it can access Fortinet services. So let's start with what we have and log in to the FortiGate. And if I access, here we have Fortinet, which can actually reach the internet. So if we execute ping google.com, the external interface is connected to the internet. And so what I'm going to do, I want to see the internal LAN and what IPs we have. So the internal LAN we configured as 10.1.1. That's the network we have. So if I show you the interface first of all, so let's say show system interface, and then we call port 1 was our external interface, and you see port 1 is what's connecting us to the internet, and I'm going to access that from the web UI or the GUI. But also port 2 is our LAN, and it has this IP 10.1.1. I need to install the FortiManager here, but I have a test machine which I want to show you, which is a Windows machine over here, and that Windows is connected on the same subnet. And if I show you this IP, it is 10.1.1.201, and I have a default gateway as the firewall. So let's see, can we actually reach Google? One is the firewall doesn't allow. The other thing is we don't configure any DNS yet. So what I can do, just to show you the normal IP address without any DNS name resolution, we don't have any connectivity. So if I cancel that and now go to the firewall policies, that way we can actually manage and configure the policy for the LAN. And there are a few things we need to do before we do anything. So let's see, here's the login page 224, that's the IP from the WAN, and that's where we're managing from. So if I log in, and then we go to the interfaces. So if you go to the network and go to the interfaces, we have those already configured, and this is our LAN, which is 10.1.1, but we don't have any security policy and we don't have objects to be in that policy. So we can go to the objects first and create addresses. Then we don't have the internal LAN, so let's call it LAN network, and let's call it, I'll call it VLAN. Later I will call it VLAN 10, but for now we have that, and the interface they will be part of, it's going to be the LAN, and the type is a subnet. So let's give the subnet, it is 10.1.1.0, and we're going to give 255.255.255.0, and we can call it LAN network, which is VLAN 10. Later I will have multiple VLANs under the one interface. So let's save that. We have now that object created, and it's part of the internal interface. So go back, LAN 2 here, port 2, and then the interface is there for us, it's configured. But let's go and create a policy. So if you go to the firewall policy, and let's go to, there's an implicit deny. So on top of this we can create a new policy, and we can call it LAN to LAN internet access, whatever the naming you like. The incoming interface will be the LAN port, and then outgoing interface will be our WAN port, and then the source will be the object we've created. So you can search from here, LAN network VLAN 10, and we add that. So if you add LAN network, that's all good, then close. Then where is the destination? It can be anywhere, so let's say all, and that's all good as well, so we can close that. But it's and also in use, not scheduled services, all of them. So this is a test, so we're just going to go for everything, and then it's accept rule, and there's a NAT, so we need to NAT behind the firewall interface. So how are we going to do from IP config use outgoing interface? That's the WAN interface. So whatever IP we have in the WAN, it's not the best policy. You need to have a different IP than your the interface firewall interface, we could have the same subnet but a different IP, or we can use a pool to create from that subnet, maybe whatever you prefer. But for now, I just need the internet access. So what we need to do is, that's all. NAT is there. We're using the WAN interface. So if you're coming from 10.1, you will be going through the WAN, which is 192. And we don't have any inspection. We don't have that license. If you want to have any comments, do that. And then this is enabled. So we add that rule now. And that if you expand, we have LAN network for all destinations, and it's always happening. All services accepted. So that's in other firewalls you might see that pushed or installed, but this one is already saved. So we have that policy in place. Let's now go to our Windows machine and again test the ping. We weren't able to, so let's clear that, and then let's ping 8.8.8. So you see, with no names resolution, we can ping the internet, but also Google, we can do that. That means we have a subnet from the internal LAN which can actually access the internet and go off from the local LAN, NATed behind the firewall interface, the external WAN, and we can reach the internet. So what we're gonna do, wherever that machine is, the Windows machine, which is VLAN, the local LAN, I want to install in the same subnet FortiManager. And then FortiManager, we will be managing all the devices, the firewalls, FortiGate firewalls, and other things from there. And we will also include another device, the FortiAnalyzer, and then FortiAnalyzer will be the same subnet as this one. So that's all for this video. Thank you, and see you in another video.